What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are going to both be off camera today, just so everybody knows I'm under the weather. James is dealing with medical stuff, so we're going to be off camera, but we still going to be here to chat. Let's welcome in James from the Watch About Reviews channel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hey, everybody. Hey.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I was looking at my phone.
Good.
Husband texted me about food. I know he got that notification. He subscribes. Anywho, we gonna go over Loving HipHop Atlanta. This episode is titled Off Key. It's season 13, episode 3. I'm annoyed. We won't be here for long, but we're just gonna go through what we need to go through because I'm hoping that this leads up to something. Like Basketball Wives is a show that also had nothing going on for the most part, but it was like exactly, it built up. So I'm like, maybe they're gonna do that with this. I don't know. But let me open the right notes because I'm looking at Miami. So this episode opens up with a freestyle that I thought was Rashida. It annoyed me, so I'm not gonna lie, I did fast forward through that. But then we do get to see Rashida and Spice meet up. They discuss the BS wellness retreat that Jessica, who needs to be in an inpatient program, in my opinion, something wrong with her in the head, and we'll get to that later in the episode. Basically, Spice feels like Sierra is fake because Sierra had no issue with Spice's diss song when it was just Sierra and Spice. But around Bambi, Spice is acting as if Sierra has an issue. Sierra did not complain or say anything about the diss track. The issue that upset Brandy that Ashley's messy ass brought up was not about the diss track. It was about when Spice performed at the Barclays Center. After she finished performing, the audience was talking about mudda sucker, suck your mudda. So I'm looking at Spice and I'm like, I get where she's coming from with feeling like people are making her the problem, but you could tell she's not learned anything or grown because the reason people had a problem is because Spice did too much reacting. Now you mad at Sierra because when it's both of y'all and you get to going off and stuff is too much. Like maybe Sierra could have held Bambi more accountable, but I feel like Spice just wants someone to choose sides. How did you feel about that, James?
I also agree with that. I think she wanted people to choose sides because that's how Spice operates usually. It was a matter of if she has everybody on her side, then that automatically targets the one person to be left alone and for everybody to go at while she sits back and watches it surrounding. And I'm used to her doing that with the men on the show. So for her to do it with the women, it was kind of like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. You ain't slick, Sam. And it's crazy that you would want to be surrounded in this kind of mess. That doesn't it doesn't behoove you to do this. And that's why I say I don't think this whole thing I think was MTV setting her up. I said that from the beginning. And I feel like now MTV played you.
That's true.
Because now when they watch this back, they're going to be like, oh, okay, so you was really being messy. And that's going to put her on the island by herself. So she better be careful. But I don't think half this crew got the lick of sense to look at it that way. So we'll see in time.
That's true. My thing with Spice is just for a very long time, for many seasons, people didn't even want her there because she does too much. Now she suddenly wants to be looked at as innocent after she caused a bunch of drama. So yeah, you know, Sierra could do more, but it's not Spice's place to tell her. The next little stupid conversation is Rashida's delusional self. Rashida is talking about her and Kirk and his 20 baby mamas and the drama. Because you know they all sister wives, in my opinion. And basically, I guess they went on vacation. Cannon had to stay behind, something with school. I was happy to hear that his school was prioritized. And I guess Jasmine, Cannon's mom, was like, I'm just going to drop him off to y'all so he could be a part of the family trip after his school thing. But she dropped him off and didn't leave. She dropped him off and wanted to stay as well. And I guess she didn't plan to have a place to stay. I don't care. James?
I don't care either. We can move on. Because I don't believe that shit in the first place. So we can move on when it comes to her and the Frost.
It's like we get it. We get it, Rashida. But you film with her. You haven't put your foot down with that. So yeah, I don't care anymore. Moving on. Sierra has Onijah Lewis, I believe her name is, on her little cook show podcast. For those who don't know who that is, it's against my religion to tell you my business. That's who that is. God bless her for those words. Because when I say I've actually used the words. But Onijah's on the screen, and I'm just like, Sierra, this is the most random collab you could have of all people. Like, the most random collab. And I wish Onijah would have went on the show or went and worked with somebody who was on a show bigger than Love and Hip Hop, because if she gives us them one-liners like, I'm gonna need everybody to deposit 50K into my pockets. She said, excuse me, it's against my religion to tell you my business. I would rather see her somewhere where we could get her to blow up. But okay, Sierra. Jessica White does come to this event and lets everybody know that she is now okay with polyamory. For those who don't know what polyamory is basically when you and a gang of people decide that you all gonna date each other, and every so often you may bring some other people into the gang. But sometimes they get married, sometimes they don't. There's very different beliefs and definitions to it, but that's essentially what it is. So polyamory is what Jessica was doing with Nick Cannon, for those who are unsure. So I'm wondering, like, Jessica, if you're looking to be in polyamorous relationships, you could have just stayed with Nick Cannon. Did you catch that too?
I'm gonna say, girl, Nick Cannon was never hers to begin with. I don't know why we take her serious, because I don't. When she said that, it was all like, so basically you're gonna go back to what you used to be in.
Yep.
Because it wasn't just you, it was a herd of y'all. So first off, I don't want to hear I'm gonna try. It's like, you've already been in that. So what are you talking about? You really think that Nick Cannon was solely faithful to you when he was still technically married to somebody else when he was dealing with you?
The thing of it is, Nick Cannon claims to be about polyamory, which is to be with a bunch of people. So my whole thing is, Jessica's acting as if this is something new and she's having fun. What was it before? Because as James said, it was her and a herd of other bitches. Now suddenly, I guess she's back to. Can somebody please go give her some chicken, some grits?
No, can someone go send a wellness check to her in Atlanta, please? I need someone. She is not well. I need somebody to send a wellness check over to her, please, because she's not well at all. Between her and Bree TC, I don't know who is more delusional. I swear, I don't know who's more delusional. Nick Cannon must, after you have sex with Nick Cannon, he must kill about 70% of the brain cells in people's heads.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
But the girls, when you listen to them interviews, like all of them, when you listen to their interviews and when they start talking, you're like, okay, you have reached the pinnacle of the ultimate delusion I have ever heard in my life, to think that any type of situation is going to be okay, because what's going to happen is, luckily Jessica White ain't got no kids by him, but y'all are going to fuck those kids royally by having this mindset. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now.
It's not, we're not meant to be in relationships like that, in my opinion, humans. But the only other things that come out of this conversation, Jessica's not interested in talking to Spice. She says she don't see the need to address Spice about the event, even though it was her own event. I kind of agree with it. I can throw an event. I am not in control of anybody else's behavior. So that's the one thing I did agree with Jessica for saying. And Sierra may be pregnant again. I feel like we went through this when she was with Eric. We went through this one when she was with that corny guy from Brooklyn.
How old is Sierra?
I don't even know.
To be Bambi's age.
Let me Google it. How old is Sierra Gates? She's 36 years old, and her birthday is 2 days after mine. She is. She was born
May 24th, a year older than me. Sierra Gates is only a year older than me.
Yeah, she came on the show very young. She was speaking about how she had her kids young and her empire and her hair stuff blew up when she was younger. But if Sierra's pregnant, I personally don't care. She's married.
I mean, she's in the proper footing to be pregnant, so I guess that's not really that big of a gripe. But I did not know she was only 36 years old. It
Yeah,
now it makes sense now.
she's not smart. But let's welcome in Joseph Felton. I've had this
Hi,
on the screen. So
Joseph, thank you
sorry.
for being here.
Hot Mess Express. So we get to talk about James's favorite person next, y'all. Yandy Smith Harris.
Yandy Smith to everybody else because that girl ain't no damn hearers. But you know,
I can't. She's claimed she legally changed her name on the show years ago, but either way, I'm tired of Yandy. I don't think she needs to be on the show. She says the rumors about her marriage are taking away the light that is her new restaurant, Chic or something that she called that open. Now, Yandy is an incredible businesswoman. I will give her that. Before Mendices, during Mendices, hell, she may be the reason for this show. However, Yandy to me is someone who belongs behind the screen, not in front of it, if that makes sense.
that
I just
makes
feel like
perfect
she's had
sense.
a good run on TV.
I'm like, Mona, pay her the money you owe her and stop torturing us with this mess. Go ahead and describe the scene because I'm about to get in Yandy ass.
Really fast before I move on to Yandy, Joseph Felton commented, I like Jessica for the most part. I feel like if I hang around her long enough, we're going to end up talking to spirits through an Ouija board.
Absolutely.
Jessica is a hippie, and I feel like she's likable. But me and
And
James said
typically, I
when
like people like that
her,
too.
they announced her on the show. Me and James both felt like she wasn't a good fit, and she's proven to not be a good fit, but she's
Right.
still there because of who she was
No,
intimate with.
She belonged on what's that movie that Nev Campbell been in the '90s? I cannot think of the name of that movie, but it's one of my favorites. Shit, I can't think of it. But yeah, this is not the show for her. I
It's
think
not.
I think the producers wanted her to get on the show and talk about Nick Cannon, which she did, and I feel like that's what they wanted, and they got it out of her. And it's kind of like they didn't want to get rid of her, but at the same time, they're not really giving her much, avenue to be any different. So
I don't know. You can only say so much. Honestly, if you wasn't married to him, you can
that's how
only
I feel.
tell us so much. We're not going to care, even if you had a baby by him. But not having a baby by him and then not being married to him while
And
dating him
then
with a bunch
gloat
of other
about it.
people, there's only so much the girl can freaking say about it,
Right.
honestly. Um, but back to Yandy, y'all. See, that's how much Yandy don't fit on the show. Talk about somebody else. The rumors of her marriage impacted her new restaurant. Congrats to Yandy for opening another Black-owned business. I will give her that. She meets with Kendra in this scene, and pretty much Yandy's pissed off about Rashida and Kirk downing and joking about her relationship in the press. She probably watched back the previous season and saw they was talking crap about her before the beef even got real deep. Like, I don't really care for Yandy on TV, but Rashida did do her kind of dirty. But it's no different, in my opinion, than how Yandy did Chrissy dirty years ago and Jim Jones. So, in my opinion, karma's coming back to Yandy in some ways because also I feel like she was a fool to think that Rashida was her friend.
If y'all didn't see how Rashida did Kalina Harper when she was on the show,
Mm.
then y'all don't understand. Like to me, the Love and Hip Hop crew that Rashida considers friends, y'all are disposable to her. Y'all
Mm.
really are, and y'all have to understand that. Her real friends are Candy, Tiny, Toya, right? Even though that's not her name anymore, but whatever. I don't feel like saying the real name. And those are the real friends. That y'all are disposable people. And I learned that about her when she did Kalina that way that season. I like and started talking about her and letting other people talk about her. Rashida ain't shit. And we all know this. So for Yandy to think, and Yandy, you run in the same circle. You may not be in that clique of the circle, but you in the same circle. So for you not to understand this, I think you're misrepresenting who y'all are off camera versus who you are on camera. Rishi don't give a fuck about you on camera, but off camera, yes, she does because she realized you in the same group. All you have to do is move around. But see, that's why I'm not. I wasn't surprised by that at all.
Yeah, I'm not surprised she's mad. I personally don't care about it. I feel like move on is stupid, especially stop saying people who are actually legally married care about your marriage. Because until I personally see Yandy and Mendice's marriage certificate, I'm just not gonna, because you can apply for your marriage license and not make it to the certificate process. So I'm just saying, I don't believe that until I see it. Yandy and Mendice's brought this on themselves. I don't care. These rumors have been out since Chrissy was on the show, so we don't care. But Kendra asked Yandy some questions that were interesting. And Yandy did say some interesting things. She said that she's never going to show everything on TV. She's going to keep some stuff private. That's fine. However, Yandy, you don't share anything. We never get the truth. And then Kendra asked Yandy if she thinks Mendices is cheating. And Yandy says, I don't know what he do when he not with me. And he don't know what I do when he not with me. Okay, Yandy.
Yandy.
Okay.
When she said that, I was like, girl, you might as well have just said yeah.
You may as well.
You might as well just said yeah. We both got people, because I told y'all, and I called this from day one. I said the reason why Yandy not tripping off these rumors is because she got somebody. That I'm telling you, Yandy in Africa every damn 3 months. I know Yandy got somebody else. Like I don't know. I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my friend channel, but like those are signs.
Yandy, I don't want Yandy on the show if she don't talk about the rumors that came about her infidelity. It's coming out that her and Mendices is cheating. So if y'all got an open relationship, just say that. But if you're not going to share everything on the show, but then you're going to use you being a wife and having this great marriage as a premise to a storyline on the show, then why are you here? You can't use your marriage for your storyline, but then not want to talk about it. That's just one thing.
Because to be honest with you, the marriage doesn't help you on the show.
It doesn't.
Where's doesn't help you. No, see, you just said the wrong thing. You just said the wrong thing, because you know every time I see Judy, you go like, yeah, why would you rub the coconut all on that man? I promise you, every time I think of that every time, because I'm like, well, fuck did you say that? But no, yeah, here's the thing. Yandy, my problem with Yandy is she's not honest, which is crazy that she's so successful. It makes me feel like people that are so successful are like the most like non-honest people in the world.
Yes, capitalism, darling.
Well, no, I get that part of it, but at the same time, I didn't think that worked for all ethnicities of people. I thought that only worked for a specific group of people, because
humans are humans. You go to psychology, you gotta acknowledge culture, ethnicity, and all of that. But essentially, the way that we're all wired to a certain extent is similar. So I wouldn't be surprised, because she's very successful, and look who she married.
No, she's very well. See, and that's the thing. I feel like, well, one, they didn't marry. That's the first thing. But two, I feel like at the end of the day, we know Yandy lie. We do. But the fact that people invest in her, and this is what I'm saying, like the fact that she's so dishonest and you can see it clearly. It's not like she's dishonest and you question it, but you don't have any proof. So then you let it go, because it's like, well, what can I do? All I can do is take her word for it, because I can't prove it otherwise. Yandy lied so bad, like it's almost to a point where it's like, Yandy, it's literally, we can see the spit, but the foam is seeping through the side of your lips. Like, come on, like we can see it. It's obvious. So that's why I'm saying it's crazy to me. But I need to start looking at a different way of life then, if that's the case. I should never change, but shit. People tired of being broke these days. Say, oh hell, I can just start being like Yandy. Shit.
Something's wrong with her, but she's not even around enough for me to care. I don't think she needs to be here. But moving forward, y'all, Spice and Carly meet up. Carly may go to jail. We already knew that. She can't tell us more because of legal reasons, which I'm not surprised about. And Spice and Carly, I guess, are in a place that's better. I don't care. I feel like too much has been said between these two. If I was Carly, I wouldn't trust it, but I also feel like Carly is just trying to do her job and get her check because she got a lot going on in real life. So that's all I'll say. Did you want to add anything?
No, good luck, Carly. We hope everything works out. I don't dislike Carly, but at the same time, I miss the old her from like season 2, season 3. I don't know who this is in front of me, so
she's going through something, definitely.
Yeah, she is, definitely.
Queen Key is the next cast member that we are introduced to. I've heard of Queen Key. As she stated on the show, she went on tour with Glorilla. She had a shout out from Sexy Red. I don't know if that's the best thing, but she had a shout out from someone who can actually rap. So that's important. But she's from Chicago. I love her little Chicago accent. You know, she really from there, the way she speaks. She seems to be doing well. We see Jasmine at an event that Queen Key is having for a performance. I'm wondering why Jasmine's part of the cast, but okay, whatever, I'll accept it. Jasmine wonders, though, why she wasn't invited to the wellness event. You may be on this cast, but you barely here. At the end of the day, nobody respects how she got pregnant. Nobody respects how she entertained Kurt. And nobody respects anybody whose come up is based on doing something anybody could have done. If she worked for it, I'd respect her. It's not even about the side chick stuff. But everything she got, she seemed to finesse from that guy that was down there raising her kid, or from Kurt for the money for the child support, or she was exposed. I'm just like, okay, Jasmine. But Kendra's fanning towards Queen Key was also something that kind of made my teeth itch. She's like, I listen to all her songs. You are a Juris Doctor of Law and a broker. And I wish that you would behave like so, Kendra. But we do learn something positive. Queen Key has triplets. Her first time being pregnant, she had 3. I salute her. I definitely salute her. Did you want to add anything to any of what was mentioned before we go forward, James?
No, for most part, she seems cool. I want triplets my first go around because surrogacy is expensive. So if I can get 3 of my babies right away, I would love to do that. That way, get it over with. But um, interesting lady. Can't wait to see what she brings to the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Yandy comes as Spice at this event because there's a bunch of people there. And she comes as Spice basically for cackling and giggling with Rashida and laughing at her marriage, which Spice likes to act innocent, but Spice was laughing and talking crap also. In my opinion, yeah, Spice was there laughing, but Yandy, millions of people have laughed at this marriage. If you got a problem with Rashida, then address Rashida. That's just how I feel. Do you feel differently, James?
Hell no. We all laugh. Girl, Yandy, come on. We all laughing at that goddamn joke that you call a marriage. We've been laughing at it since it happened. What are you talking about? Like, this is the thing. If you gonna get mad at her, you need to get mad at all of America because we all laughed, we all giggled, we all joked, we all joned.
And that's
We
your
all,
husband's fault. Because
yes,
if he didn't say, it's bad enough how he went away and the fact that your first child was born at the same time as the other Erica's first child from Love and Hip Hop New York. So we already know you was one of many. That irks me. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, if he didn't say publicly on national TV a couple years back, she said, if the roles were reversed, would you hold me down? He could not answer.
because the answer was no, but he didn't want to look like a bad guy, so he
And they
just said,
stayed together after that. I said nobody took her seriously since then. It was annoying. This whole scene was annoying. Sierra comes up and she addresses Spice for not speaking to her and all of this. And Sierra needs to stop proclaiming love and a sisterhood with Spice when it's clear that Spice does not see Sierra that way. Clearly, Spice thinks Sierra is fake. Sierra is the one person on this cast where even though she was stupid to get that tattoo, the fact that nobody showed up for her, nobody even sent the text message to check in. Stop kissing their ass. If you got a problem, just have a problem. It's just how I feel. And Spice Sierra's not going to take sides. I'm not going to go over this again. Did you want to? I feel like we talked about this already.
we did talk about this. We can move on.
Yeah, because it's like it's the same thing throughout the episode. But yeah, I'll just, they're both wrong to a certain extent, but who cares? Now, Jock gets together the female artists. Female rappers are doing it. This is a big deal. I think people forget how young hip hop and rap as a genre are compared to other genres of music. Female rappers are finally getting their shot to be fully respected. I like that Jock got together 3 rappers. The 3 rappers were Twin Key, Selma Slim, Erica Banks. They can all rap really well, and I feel like their careers would go better if they would like put music out when they're doing it. Because Erica Banks, when she puts stuff out, she'll rap real slow. I don't really care for it all the time. Selma Slim Sim's okay, but it don't seem like anything special. And Queen Key, the beat she choose, be too So, everybody has their little things they could work on. But Selma Slim asked Erica Banks, like, how come you never hit me back when I asked you for that feature? And Erica was honest and said that because their sounds are different. So she didn't feel like they would mesh well on a track, which I think was an okay response, right? But Selma Slim gets upset. And there was a little comment, if y'all peep, where she was like, is it because I messed with 1501? So 1501 is the label that Erica Banks was on. Megan Thee Stallion, Erica Banks were, I believe, their original people on the label. And this label has notoriously been known for doing female artists dirty and artists dirty in general. I think the biggest example of that outside of Erica's legal woes would be Megan Thee Stallion's court issues and deciding to go independent after the trauma of dealing with Evelyn's ex. But she makes that comment. I don't know. I felt like Selma Slim should have stopped. Like, Erica did at first respond in a way that was okay. She's just like, our sounds are different. But Selma kept poking the bear and, oh, you think you too good. And, oh, this and that. Is it because of 1501? She don't want to do a fucking song with you. Stop asking her. I don't understand why she would not let that go. It irks my soul. Selma Slim ends up telling Erica Banks also that her music career is struggling because her music is in strip clubs. I said, now wait a second, because just a second ago you wanted a feature. Now that she tell you she don't want to do the feature because she don't like your sound, now suddenly you're degrading her and downplaying her as an artist who you yourself wanted a feature from. So I'm looking and I'm like, huh? And I'm looking at Queen Key in the middle. She's like me, just sitting there smiling. But Queen Key was laughing at Selma because then Selma starts trying to come at her outfit and all this stuff and her BBL. And Erica did not seem to care. Like, you cannot get that upset if someone don't like your music or don't want to work with you. That's the industry. And Jock, he seemed to feel like Erica could have like been a little above her head. I don't think she was. I think everyone has a right to work with who they do and don't want to work with. I don't see the problem in it. But Queen Key did have the best standpoint of all. If you're trying to come up, do a feature with whoever. It don't matter if it's a yodeler, a country music star, a rock and roll artist, or an artist who's in your genre. Be willing to work with whoever because you never know how your name will get out there. But this shit was stupid. How'd you feel about it, James?
It was stupid. It was like, one, I see both sides of it, but I wouldn't have acted so thirsty for a feature like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I probably would have been like, okay, well, I think you got a great sound and it's unfortunate you wouldn't want to do it. But in the future, if you ever change your mind, go ahead. Like, I'm definitely open to it. I think I would have did that approach. Because I can understand on the flip side wanting to do, features with people who are, popular, who have like huge presences around, maybe social media or something like that, or who have opportunities. So I get it on the flip side. But I wouldn't have been so thirsty for that. Like, that's what I've been like, well,
it's stupid. It's stupid. DM Rocks, welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Friday, Junior. He said, DM Rocks said, hey, I feel like Erica Banks was being respectful. She was. At first, she tried to be. And when the girl didn't hear what she liked, she started trying to find all these different reasons as to why the answer is no. When sometimes, quite frankly, the answer is just no.
No, yeah, people can say no was an answer.
If she says no to a feature for you, Selma, get over it.
I feel like this day and age, people have a hard time with hearing no.
Yep.
And I think that that's kind of like where we are as a society and why things are so messed up is because people don't realize no is an answer. It may not be the answer you want, but it's still an answer and it's supposed to be respected. I was always taught when my mother said no, it means no, and respect the choice that my mother's made because she knows best. People know best for what their lives are. You can't tell somebody once they say no that, they should have a repercussion because they said no. No is an answer.
It means no. Accept it. And
even though I don't like Erica Banks,
well-known artist, and she's connected to other well-known artists, get a feature elsewhere.
Yeah. Although I don't like Erica Banks, I definitely don't think she was wrong. I said, even though I don't like Erica Banks, I don't think she was wrong in that sense at all.
Yeah, that's too much. If I was Erica, I wouldn't fucking work with her ever though. But Moving forward, last thing we're going to talk about is the last scene. There's always so much to say. Carly Red is turning herself into Fulton County Jail. She's upset. She's calling her daughter like crazy. She says it was the last moment. She found out at the last moment there was a warrant for her arrest. Her daughter finally answers the phone, and she's mad that her daughter was not there for her. I personally feel like Carly put too much pressure on her daughter. Her daughter says she was doing stuff with her daughter. And I hate when people do this. If there's an emergency, I'm not just going to call you over and over and be like, hey, call me back when you get this. I'm going to text you and say, you need to answer the phone. So-and-so has been shot, or so-and-so is in hospital. Have to go to jail, on the way right now. Call ASAP. Like, you have to make it very clear what you need, because her daughter kept saying, like, I didn't know it was that serious, or that this was what was happening, or that this was coming. But I think it's irresponsible of Carly. We already know from Jasmine that Carly was not the most present parent and was one of them kids that was primarily raised by the grandparent. Carly don't seem to see the error in that, because in her mind, she was making money for the family. So I feel like Jasmine and Carly's relationship was already in some stuff, but this kind of shows the lack of mothering that Carly does have, because you should never make your child feel bad for not being there for you. Your job as a parent is to raise your kid and allow them to go on so that they can be there for their spouse and their kid, or if there's no spouse, their kid. Leave, cleave, elsewhere. So for Carly to say, I'm never going to forget this, this is the most important thing in my life, and this and that, and not even have any empathy to the fact that her daughter was handling her granddaughter, irked my soul. I'm sorry Carly has to go to jail, but just because you're going through something, you don't get to attack everyone and expect them to stop their life because you, at 59, 67 years old, however the fuck old she is, couldn't figure it out after the third or fourth marriage. No, if this was the first time, sure. But this, how many times has Carly been in situations like this?
Too many to count.
Like, how many times? Mo Vance, the guy that she just left. Now this one, like, how many men is she going to go through this with on TV? And then you want to get at your daughter for not being there for you?
Right.
No, she needs to be
like, girl, you've lost your entire mind. First of all, no one told you to marry them fools. Let's start there. And second of all, how dare you? I would have hung up that phone so quick, because it would have been like, first off, you got yourself in this situation. Right. And maybe this is what you need to stop putting yourself in these situations. Maybe you need to go up in there so you can get the awareness to say, hey, I need to choose better. Because I feel like the reason why you keep choosing these kind of men is because secretly you're like this too.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this, and she's not the only person I said that about. I said the same thing about Jennifer Williams. The reason why Jennifer Williams keeps picking these men like Tim Norman in his hips and the dude that stole a Range Rover and now this fool she married to is because secretly she's the same way.
Yep.
So I feel like, no, you need to go to jail and you need to figure this out, because you keep picking men that have the most crazy of circumstances, and they usually have to do with them going into the system. You need to wake up. So I'm glad your daughter did what she did, because you need to wake up. If she didn't do it for her own selfish reasons, I hope that she does this as a wake-up call to you, because you keep doing this shit and it's annoying and you're too old for this.
I agree. We're going to get into the comments and leave it there, because I think we all tired of Carly. Let me see here. Joseph Felton said, I agree. Even though Erica Banks said no to your feature doesn't mean it's the end of your career. A blessing like Cardi B will probably come around and grant you a feature. You just never know. It's true. People denied Cardi features on Love and Hip Hop just for her to blow up and be the biggest thing. People laughed at K. Michelle, saying that she would never get into country music. People told her she wouldn't find success in R&B again. And then she blew up and had to leave the show. So if you're patient and handle your nose with humility, you'll be surprised the way God will spin that block of blessings on you. But,
absolutely,
Selma don't get it. But that was the episode, you guys. I appreciate everybody for being here. We are going to head into What's next? The Valley?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember the order. I said we're going to head into the Valley next, y'all. We'll be back again next week. Well, I will to go over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. James will be having surgery, I believe, next week. So it will be just me, but the show will continue and we will keep you updated on his progress.
Yes. And you never know, I might be in the comments.
I'm sure you will be. You'll get bored. That's what my husband was saying. My husband said, yo, he think that after he adjusts the handle and the pain, he gonna get tired of that bed. I said, yep, because that was me crawling around the house after surgery. Don't do like me.
All right. I'll see you in the next video.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.